Breaking news, Edu Gaspar is set to leave Arsenal. The Arsenal director is set to leave. Now, what does this mean for Arsenal? A huge January transfer window coming up, not just for Arsenal, for Manchester City and Liverpool. This title race at the moment genuinely could be won in this window. Liverpool at the moment have a huge advantage. They are doing really, really well. We've got a video dropping on them later today. Manchester City and Arsenal both lost at the weekend. And I'll be honest, I thought both of them would go and win. But the Arsenal director, Edu Gaspar, Fabrizio Romano, broke the news in the last hour. We're going to break it down and give our thoughts about some of the transfers Arsenal have signed and talk about the upcoming January window. Make sure you go down, drop a like if you haven't already, and make sure you have subscribed to the channel. We are less than 30. Sorry, I was about to say 30,000. We're less than 500 subscribers off of 30,000. So big up to every single one of you. Now, Fabrizio Romano has reported Arsenal director Edu Gaspar is set to leave the club. That is coming out from Sami Mokbel from the Daily Mail. Brazilian director has been crucial part of the project, pivotal to rebuilding the squad with Mikel Arteta. Now, of course, Arsenal lost to Newcastle. Lots of fans unhappy. As you can imagine, not my football club. We smashed Aston Villa 1-2-3-4. Great performance from us. But Arsenal are going into their 5th year under Mikel Arteta. And they have got to win silverware this season. I've stated that since the very, very, very beginning. They have to win something this season. Now, a lot of people have said they feel that Edu Gaspar has taken Arsenal as far as he can, and they need to bring in another director of football. I am surprised, and I will be surprised if Arsenal don't approach Tixi Birkenstein, the Swiss director of football from Manchester City, who is set to leave. Of course, very, very important at Barcelona, very, very important at Manchester City, very intelligent football brain, and knows how to get teams over the line. And this is at the point where Arsenal are. If Edu Gaspar is set to leave, they 100% need to bring in someone who has an understanding of how to win league titles, an understanding of how to get the maximum out of your budget. There's absolutely no joke. Arsenal need to sign a striker. Arteta has lent on Kai Havertz, who's done a really, really good job so far under Arteta. He's been there, nearly 18 months. But it almost feels like when you look at Liverpool, they can lean on, Salah, Diaz, Jota, Nunez, Federico Chiesa when he comes in. Arsenal's attack, Jesus hasn't really been on it. I think he's got 1 goal in 25 games. I thought Sterling would do better than he is. He's not really being utilised as much as I thought he would. And of course, Martinelli, Saka, and Havertz. Trossard's been good, but they just need more killers. They need someone in that team who can go out there and absolutely grab the game by the scruff of the neck. Saka is absolutely fantastic, but they just need maybe one more than him. And I would be, if I was whoever the new director of football is going to be, I would have been looking at the Sporting Lisbon game on Friday and watching a certain Victor Gyökeres 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 goals against Estrella Amodora. I've probably butchered that. But he is on absolute fire right now. Now, it's worth noting that coming out of the League of Portugal, there isn't a huge amount of forwards that have come to the Premier League and set it alight. Vinicius, when he joined Tottenham and Fulham, Darwin Núñez. The record recently isn't, going in his favour. However, the amount of goals this guy has got is a lot higher than any other forward coming out of coming out of Liga Portugal in kind of recent times. His record is absolutely ridiculous. He's got 16 goals and 1 assists in 10 games in the league. You know, um, apparently, according to Sky Sports, he does not want to follow Ruben Amorim to Manchester United, according to Sky Sports, which kind of opens the door up. Now, if, of course, Arsenal bring in a new director of football, he's allowed to leave for around £70 million next summer. Whoever the director of football is going to be is how do we close the gap between where we are and Manchester City. Now, it's, of course, Manchester City have had their fair share of injuries this season. They've had more injuries than anyone else. Of course, Erling Haaland, not in the particularly goal-scoring form of the first season. I know his numbers are still very, very good, but, missed an absolute sitter against Bournemouth. You know, it's going to be very, very interesting to see what happens. And according to this as well, Arsenal are lining up to West Ham winger Mohamed Kudus as a replacement if Leandro Trossard leaves. So look, huge amount of work to be done for the Arsenal director, whoever it's going to be, the new director of football. Is it going to be someone from the Premier League? Is it going to be someone from La Liga? It's a huge, huge job to come into because what Edu Gaspar has done is he's helped Arteta get the club back to challenging for titles. Now you need to bring someone in to get them over the line. And if Arne Slot comes in his first season and wins the Premier League, that's going to be an absolute gut punch for Arsenal. And right now, it's fair to say that Arne Slot has got Liverpool firing on all cylinders. Firing on all cylinders. Play 10, won 8, drawn 1, lost 1. The highest goal difference in the league. We've actually got the second highest. We've actually scored the most goals. We are at our second season under Ange. Arteta's in his 5th. Guardiola's in his, 6th, 7th now? Something like that. From a Liverpool perspective, if they go on to win the league, that has been an absolutely unbelievable season from an Arne Slot perspective. They've only conceded 6. Look at Nottingham Forest. Forest have only conceded 7 goals. Wow. Liverpool have conceded 6 goals in 10 games. That is nuts. But look, Arsenal at the moment are falling outside the top 4. Chelsea are above on goal difference. They're level with Aston Villa. If Chelsea beat Arsenal next week, and Spurs and Villa both win, Arsenal could be down as low as they could even drop to 9th. That's how wild this Premier League season is. So look, whoever the new director of football has got to work out what Arteta wants. I thought they had a good window. I thought Sterling would be utilised more. Of course, he hasn't. Arteta needed a goal against Newcastle, and he turned to bringing on Ben White and Zinchenko. I'm thinking, why didn't you bring on Sterling? Why didn't you bring on Jesus earlier? But when Odegaard is back, and you'd imagine he will be back for the Chelsea game at the weekend, a lot of their creativity is back, but you can't, as great as Odegaard is, it's not fair just to rely on one player from all your creative needs. That being said, it will give them a huge uplift. They've got some tough games coming this week, Arsenal. They've got Inter Milan on Wednesday. They've got Chelsea on Sunday. And they've got Forest after the international break. So it's going to be... And then they've got Sporting away. So, look, the next 3 games are going to be tough for them. I'm not going to lie. Forest will not be an easy game. They're firing on all cylinders at the moment. And the fact that Chelsea can heavily rotate because they're playing at home in the Conference League, whereas, Arsenal are going away to Inter Milan, probably makes Chelsea favourites purely because Arsenal have got a very hard Champions League game. But look, if Arsenal beat Chelsea and they beat Inter Milan, all their fans will be happy as Larry, and a lot of the doom and gloom in their fan base, will be put to one side. But this January window is absolutely huge. It is massive. It's massive, guys. Genuinely, I can't break down into words how big of a window this is, both for Arsenal, Liverpool, and City. If City go out there and bring in a Martin Zubimendi, or they go out and bring in you know, someone of that ilk to replace Rodri. If Liverpool go out there and bring in a left back who, because I think Robertson's best days are behind him. If they bring in a forward, who can really, you know, help out with the goals if someone leaves, or another midfielder to replace Gravenberch when he's not fit. And if Arsenal go out there and bring in a striker or someone else from an attacking midfield perspective who can chip in with goal contributions, it opens up this title race massively. Look, if Arsenal beat Liverpool away and City at home, they're right back in it. But as I've said on the Football Terrace and as I've said on this channel, it's not the big games in which Arsenal are going to lose this title race. It's the Newcastle United aways. It's the Fulham at homes. It's the West Ham at homes. These are the sort of games, you know. For Man City, you cannot. I know Bournemouth are a good side at the moment, and they are firing on all cylinders. They're up to their ninth. They've beaten, Arsenal at home. They've beaten City at home. They've drawn with Villa. You know, they've beaten Southampton. They narrowly lost against Chelsea. City have got to do better than that. They've got to lean on their star players more, like Foden, who hasn't been the best this season. But from a Liverpool perspective as well, they've got Leverkusen tomorrow. That's going to be a very, very, very interesting game. Make sure you go down, drop a like if you haven't already. Make sure you have subscribed to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you for watching. I am out.